Okay, so we're recording. Alright, so this is going to be my second attempt to review The Nightman vs. Wolverine. I think I'm going to keep my first attempt on the channel just as reference, because I tried to live stream it with a pretty bad connection, and it turned out so horrible. Barely even tell what was going on, right? So, I think I should record these from now on while I'm not in the house, because the connection will get kind of shaky. Although that does mean it'll take a little bit longer to upload. So let me find the comic real quick. I got a whole stash of comics here to review. I got a lot of comics, but I have not read most of them. So, Mutants vs. Ultras, which I'm only showing for a few seconds because of copyright. Marvel Malibu Comics crossover from the 90s. It has 3 stories in it. One I think I did relatively okay-ish with. Was the Prime versus Hulk. Now, I did not give my overall consensus in my initial review for this story, which I realize is kind of a problem for a review. So overall, it's kind of subpar, because there's not much of a fight. Hulk hits Prime once, Prime hits Hulk once, they threaten each other, then they team up to fight the bad guy. The bad guy turns into a giant, even bigger green monster who is the totally not Abomination, totally not the leader in any way, called Wild Man. See? He's big enough to just pick up Prime and the Hulk with his 2 hands. But, Prime and Hulk just punched him together. And they win very easily. And then they go their separate ways. Yeah, so, not much of a fight. Considering Prime is supposed to be Malibu Comics' Ultraverse's most powerful, or at least strongest physically, character or hero. As you can see, that's the picture of him right there. He's very Superman-esque. He's very Shazam-esque as well. But, yeah, so... And he's fighting the Hulk, who's Marvel's strongest one there is. And so, for them to not even have much of a fight when it's 2 of the company's most powerful heroes going against each other, it's just a little disappointing. But I digress. Moving on to The Nightman vs. Wolverine. This is as close to a Batman-Wolverine comic as we're getting for the foreseeable future. Okay? Because The Nightman, I don't know if you can see, yeah, there's a picture of him right there. Let me get a better picture. Okay, so he's like Cyclops' costume that it, let his hair flow freely? He looks like Batman, but with his hair flowing freely. Right there. He's a totally not Batman type character. You know the type of character. He's like, he dresses in gray, has a blue cape, has a utility belt and a rope. It's called the Nightman. But I guess what sets him apart is that instead of just a grappling hook, he just has a rope. Just a rope with a loop in it. And that's it. And he has tasers in his gloves or something, right? So, with that in mind, he's fighting Wolverine. So, let's just get on to the story. Okay, it gives you a bit of an overview of the Nightman character, which I will read now. So, just for clarity's sake. He was the Nightman. The Nightman. Then Loki broke the barrier between his world and Valhalla, and the God Wheel, seeking power. He found the Infinity Gems, and made many Nightmen. After the madness, there were two. One who learned that the night is larger and darker than he'd known, and chose to gain magic through Rahanan. Right there. And one who rejected Rahanan as a temptress, and stuck with what had already made him one of the most heroic men in the Ultraverse. They are both the Nightman. So, yeah. He's going against someone with a somewhat more convoluted backstory. Now, I like Wolverine as much as the next guy. There's no doubting his origin story is kind of a mess. Anyway, this story opens up with Nightman running around Murder World. And then he's like, I don't know, I guess he was going after his doppelganger, but got transported to Murder World, right? And then the police there, or the security, I guess, it just looks like a normal amusement park. There are people there with their kids and everything. But it's Murder World, and so they're like, hey, you're a villain. We're gonna get you. And he's like, no, I must run away. So he runs away. He hides in the sewer where he fights Wolverine. Now, here's a reminder. This is not normal Wolverine. Because this is the 90s. And the 90s had some very strange versions of the Marvel heroes. We had clone Spider-Man. We had Wolverine without his adamantium. See there, he has no adamantium, either the bone claws. We had Professor Hulk, who had Banner's mind and Hulk's body. So when he got angry, he turned into Banner. So to stay as the Hulk, he had to keep calm. So yeah, Hulk got weaker as he got angrier. We had Captain America in a mech suit. We had Daredevil in a mech suit. We had Catwoman in a mech suit. We had Batman in a mech suit. Everybody was getting a mech suit. So what made Iron Man special? But anyway, so Wolverine just jumps him. He just straight up jumps him in the sewer, right? It's like, never turn your back on the Wolverine, bub. He just like takes a slash at Nightman. And I like this better than the Hulk versus Prime one, because they actually have a bit more of a fight. No? So, because you got one of the deadliest, and by deadliest, I mean most murder-happy heroes in the Marvel Universe, going against another Batman-type guy, who I guess he doesn't kill. Since he's a Batman-type character, he probably brutalizes, you know? So it's a killer and a brutalizer, I assume. And it looks like that. You know, they're attacking each other, and it's like, Arcade usually sticks to mechanical toys, but you're flesh and blood. Lots of blood. It's like, look, I have nothing to do with you. Don't make me fight you. Are you threatening me? Looks like I am. What? But anyway, they fight. And then he activates his taser gloves and socks Wolverine in the jaw a few times. And eventually he's like, wait, I'm not from this world. And then Wolverine just like immediately buys it. Because it looked like Wolverine was actually about to kill him. So, I guess that answers who would win. Although I guess he was holding back. I have no idea what was going on there. Arcade is there and he's like, ain't this a kick in the head? I set up Murder Worlds 'cause they're more fun. Wait, what? I set up Murder Worlds 'cause they're more fun than the real world. And then some sinister fella from another world drops in. Everything down there's built to do in Wolverine. That means this Nightman might upset the old apple cart. Nah. This is right there. Nah. Arcade's famous, most quoted comic book catchphrase ever. Nah. Nah. Says it all the time. They get to some carnival games, but look, it's a giant turret made out of other guns. Nightman ropes his rope around it and pulls it apart. It's like made out of shotguns and AK-47s and stuff like that. Just like duct taped together or something. And then there's a killer robotic clown that Wolverine cannot cut through because he has bone claws. They get into... What the heck? I just noticed. That's a river of taffy, right? It's filled with body parts. Look, there's skulls and eyeballs in that river of taffy. There's a baby in there. There's a fetus, I think. There are babies in that taffy. I just noticed what Nightman says here. He's like,
motors underneath, churning it, dragging me under. Can't fight it. Too thick, too sticky. Can't get my hands free or reach for any of my weapons. This is how it ends. In alien taffy!
he says it like that. Alien taffy. Alien taffy. Anyway.
Not yet, bub. I can hang on with one hand, slice slime with the other. I gotcha.
I'm not quite sure how they get out of this by slicing slime. Slicing slime. It just doesn't sound like that should work. But it does, and they get out of it. Then they're on the disco dance floor with the robot clown and a bunch of little demon-looking things. They call them dinosaurs, but they're clearly not. So they find... Oh, geez. Oh, geez. I just realized what that's supposed to look like. I'm not going to show that, because, YouTube. Anyway, they find an opening out of there, and end up going through the sewer. And Arcade's just like, pshaw. Nightman's like,
Silence. The silence of the night.
So Wolverine talks about, hey, next time, bub, X-Men, bub, hey, crossover future, bub. It's like,
What I'm trying to say is, thanks for saving my butt, bub. It's like, it had to be done. I didn't do it because I'm a hero. I did it because I had to. It was the plot.
Wolverine's like, hey, we aren't so different, bub. Hey, wanna join my group, bub?
And he's like, no, I'm a loner. I must go and be with the night. But I'm the night man, and I will take charge of any night.
So he's good for at least 8 hours of the day.
Well then, hang loose, hero.
So that's my review of Wolverine and the Nightman. Overall, it's better than Prime versus Hulk, as far as the versus match goes. But it's nothing special. It's nothing special. Oh, and here's an advertisement for a cartoon I didn't know existed. Apparently, Malibu got their own Ultra Force cartoon in the 90s. Ultra Force, the animated series. Oh my goodness. It looks like the X-Men animated series, but lower budgets? Let me try to get a good view. Okay, yeah, you see, you got Prime there, you got the heroes there, the villains here. Looks like some kind of tribal Dracula, a jack-o'-lantern guy, a not Thanos, a not Abomination, and that's just a robotic xenomorph. That's just a robotic xenomorph. As was the case for the 90s. Next crossover is the all-new Exiles versus the X-Men. Is the last crossover in this series. We got Golden Form Juggernaut in this picture. So, that's something to look forward to. I don't think it actually happens in this story. We get regular Juggernaut. We got a guy who looks like Grifter from Wildcats. Wildcats or Wildstorm? I don't know. There are too many. That'll conclude this video. Depending on my time, I may... Oh, wow. 20 minutes? Wow, this went on for quite a while. I may or may not make another comic review today. But not this one. Not this comic. Gonna save that for next time. I may review, one of my other... It's a different kind of comic. Just look out for it. So, with that, I'm signing off, and see you later.